Howdy. Welcome to another episode of Duck the Law. Today we're going to be talking about security guard authority. What authority do they actually have? What police powers do they actually have? What about you? Do you have police powers? The answer might surprise you. Let's talk about it. So what are police powers? Who has them? Who has authority over us? These are some of the questions we're going to be talking about today. Everything we're going to talk about today is specific to California, but most states have similar laws in place. So feel free to use this video as a starting point for your own research, or even better, as a starting place to have a discussion with a licensed attorney in your state or jurisdiction. Okay, first let's talk about police power. At a minimum, police power means the ability to detain someone. That means restricting their freedom of movement and preventing them from leaving. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean handcuffing them, but it could, but we're going to talk about that in a bit. Now, usually detainment is as simple as telling somebody not to move or not to leave. And the purpose is so that an investigation can take place. So who is the lowest level of cop that has this power? You have this power. That's right, you swine, you're a cop. You have the power to detain people and arrest people. Now, most states have a provision that allows for citizens arrest. In California, that's California Penal Code 837. Now, everyone has the power of citizens arrest, and there's really no age limit. So technically, anyone who witnesses a crime can detain them and arrest them. But don't do that. Don't go out there and try to use your police power. Friends don't let friends be cops. You are not Batman. Don't try to be Batman. Now, when most people use their power of citizens arrest, they usually don't even know it. This is what gives you the ability to hold down a burglar in your house or a robber at a store until the police arrive and make the arrest. So now to answer the question, can a rent-a-cop legally detain and arrest you? Yeah, they can, but it has nothing to do with their authority as a security guard. It all comes from their power of citizens arrest, just like you have. But breathe easy, law enforcement is not the job of a security guard. Their power of citizens arrest is something that they fall back on, just in case they need to use it in the situation. But they're not going out there trying to enforce public laws. That's not their job. They don't have the equipment for that, the training for that, the knowledge, or even the pay to try to do that. So let's briefly talk about trespass. Can a security guard trespass you from private property? Yes. Security guards are working as agents of the owner or operator of private property, and therefore they are given the authority to trespass anybody from that property as if they were the owner. Now let's talk about the big issue when it comes to security guards, and that usually deals with loss prevention and what's called the shopkeeper's privilege. The shopkeeper's privilege gives owners, their employees, and their rent-a-cops a little bit more legal protection and legal padding to prevent the loss of merchandise and property from theft. In California, the shopkeeper's privilege is outlined in California Penal Code 490.5F. They can detain you and use reasonable force to prevent you from leaving. They can take any items that are in plain view to see if that item was stolen. They can search any bags or handbags in your possession for stolen property, but they aren't allowed to search your clothes. They need an actual cop to come and make the arrest, and the cop can then legally search your clothing and anything and anywhere else where they have probable cause to search or would be legal to search incident to a lawful arrest. So what do you need to know? A lot of this information is outside of the scope of what you need to know in the moment. You shouldn't really bother with what they're allowed to do or not allowed to do, or where they can search. That's the job of your attorney, and that's going to be a lot of information for the average person to hold in their memory every time they have an interaction with a security guard. The thing is, in the moment, you don't have a choice. You kind of got to do what they say legally. It's your attorney's job to pick apart whether they did something wrong or not. So let's concentrate on what you need to know. And we'll do this by going over some basic questions. Question number 1. What does being detained mean? It means you are a suspect and you're not legally allowed to leave while they investigate further. And this could be as simple as them telling you not to leave while they look over their security cameras. So question number 2, how do you know if you're detained? Well, you can always ask, but if you feel that you're not free to leave, you're probably detained. If they try to block your path or prevent you from leaving, you're also probably detained. Question number 3, can a rent-a-cop use force to stop you from leaving if they try to detain you? Yes, they can use reasonable force to stop you from leaving or from stopping suspected stolen merchandise from leaving. Question number 4, can they search you? Yes. If you are detained, they can search anything that's in plain view, or they can search any bags that you might have on you. That includes backpacks or shopping bags. Now, generally, they cannot search your clothes, but it really depends on the situation, whether they can see suspected stolen merchandise. But generally, they cannot search your clothing. But there are times where there are exceptions. Question number 5. Can I be detained and searched even if I've done nothing wrong? Yes. If a rent-a-cop has probable cause to think that you stole something, even if you've done nothing wrong, they can still legally detain you and search you until they confirm or dispel their suspicions. Now, this happens a lot. There are numerous stories out there of innocent people being accused of stealing things when they are innocent. These issues usually resolve themselves there in the moment. It's important that you don't make the situation worse. So just be quiet, let them figure it out, and don't do anything that would really get you arrested. Question number 6. What happens to me if they find that I really stole something? Well, it's up to them. If they recover the property, there's a chance they might let you go, or they might hold you there until the police arrive to arrest you. Now, if the police come, they can search everything on you. This is called a search incident to a lawful arrest, and anything they find can be used against you. Now, if you are arrested, it's important that you not say anything to the police or the security guard, because anything you say can be used against you. The only person you should be talking to is your lawyer. So you're not going to talk yourself out of the arrest. Just keep quiet and let your lawyer figure it out. Okay, so let's discuss everything we've gone over today. Security guards have the power of citizen's arrest, and they can detain you or arrest you for violating any crime. But they probably won't, because that's not their job, just like it's not your job. Their job generally is to observe and report trespass people and loss prevention. They are entitled to the shopkeeper's privilege, which lets them detain you and search your bags if they have probable cause that a theft has happened or was about to happen. As always, nothing I say here is legal advice. This video is only meant to give you a brief introduction into what the law is, and any hypotheticals I made is just to illustrate that point. The law is a very complex animal, and you should seek a licensed attorney in your jurisdiction anytime you need to apply real-life facts to the law. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. When you subscribe, you'll see more videos like this where you can get a leg up on the pigs that try to lock you in a cage and take your money. I also respond to all the comments, so if you have any questions, comments, or suggestions on videos you want to see, go ahead and write them below. Until next time, duck the rent-a-cops and duck the law.